All right, Full Circle Fitness fans, family members, and friends, here we go again, another at-home workout. Now today is a special edition. We're gonna do a flexibility, which is a stretching session for all my seniors and people over 50 out there. Now the routine today will be standing only. So these will be standing static stretches. I do have one dynamic stretch that you can do as well. The reason I'm making all of these standing is because a lot of our seniors out there can't get on the ground safely and get up. So the first version of this that we're going to do today is going to be just standing stretches, and then I'll do later videos on how to get on the ground properly and do some stretches from there as well. But let's keep it as safe and effective as possible. So 5 stretches today, 1 dynamic stretch, 4 static stretches on how to improve your mobility overall. Let's get to it. We got stretch number 1, which is going to be against the wall, called a snow angel. Okay? A lot of times you'll see people do this on the ground too, but again, since we're doing them all standing, so the first one is a dynamic stretch. Your palms are going to stay open. A lot of my clients, as soon as they get to right about here, it starts to hurt their shoulders, then you bring it right back down, okay? So you want to do this for 30 to 60 seconds. Your core is nice and tight. You're sitting against the wall. Move your feet a little more forward in front of you. Don't have your heels right against the wall, because then it's hard to keep your lower back flat to the wall, which is what you want to do in this position, okay? So feet out in front of you, toes straight, lower back against the wall, palms facing outward. You're going to slowly bring your arms up to whatever point you feel the pain, and then you stop and come back down. Work within that range of motion until you warm your shoulders up, and then come up high as you can. For me, it's right about there. Wow, I can go all the way up today. First thing in the morning, not bad, okay? So again, just slowly work, dragging your knuckles all the way up and all the way down, trying to keep your lower back flat to the wall. So if I get to right about here, my lower back starts to come up a little bit, I'll bring it back down. And as I warm up more and more, even just doing this, you can see how easier it is for me to get all the way up and all the way back down. So give yourself 30 to 60 seconds on these snow angels. It's a great dynamic stretch to loosen up the shoulders, the pecs, open up your sternum, loosen up the lats. So I love to start that one in the morning because, again, it's a dynamic stretch. Get your body moving, get some blood flow in that upper body. So now let's move on to stretch number 2, which you're gonna need about a 36-inch step. You can use an ottoman, you can use your bed, you can use a chair. I suggest putting it against the wall. Again, since we're focusing on our older demographic on these stretches today, you want to make sure that safety is the #1 priority. So you want to make sure that you're next to a wall that you can hold on to while you put your foot up here. So stretch number 2 is going to be a hamstring stretch, getting into the calf, and even where that hamstring attaches to the glute as well. So where the glute and the hamstring connect. So we're starting with our foot up. We're gonna have our toe flexed towards us. Now here's the key. You wanna rotate your foot. You wanna rotate that foot so the big toe is coming towards you and the pinky's going to the wall in front of you. So rotate that foot and then bring your toes towards you. That gets you a nice stretch in that fascia from your Achilles all the way up through the hamstring, okay? Now, a lot of times when people do this, they'll just lean forward like this. That's not what you want to do. You want to get that foot rotated. You want to bring the toes in. You want to keep your knee locked as you can and squeeze that quad right here. It's called reciprocal inhibition, meaning if I squeeze my quad, my hamstring will relax more. So I'm squeezing my quad and placing my hands, both hands on the knee, or one hand on the knee and one hand on the wall for support. And then I'm going to stick my butt out and keep my shoulder blades back. That's the key. That's giving me that full stretch. Now, a lot of times when people do this at first, they'll feel it a lot in their calves. That's okay. Let that fascia loosen up first, and then you'll start feeling it in the hamstrings. All right? So again, proper position. Rotate the foot, toes flexed towards you. Lock that knee as much as possible. Squeeze that quad. Place both hands or one hand on your thigh and stick the butt out and squeeze the shoulder blades, just like this. Don't lean forward. So again, hold this stretch for 30 to 60 seconds each side. Now, the next couple of stretches are going to be against the wall again. And this is going to be a pec stretch, and then we're going to go right into a lat stretch. Both, again, holding for 30 to 60 seconds. So my elbow is bent at 90 degrees. All right, I'm going to try to face the camera on this one. My elbow is touching the wall, okay? It's not just my hand. My elbow is touching the wall, arm bent at 90 degrees, and I'm going to look away from the wall, okay? I'm looking this way. I not only get that stretch in my front part of my deltoid, but I get in my pec, and I also get it in my neck as well, okay? Now, if I'm facing a little bit away from the camera, I want to get a different angle. I like to put this foot in front, and again, with this arm bent at 90 degrees, I'm going to look away, all right? That foot in front gives me a little more stability and support, so I don't feel like I'm wobbling all over the place while I'm doing this stretch. So again, a great way to open up those pecs and shoulders, okay? From the other angle, you can see just like this. Elbow bent 90 degrees, okay? And then your foot is in front, and then you're looking away. All right, so that's the pec stretch. Then you get right into the lat stretch. So I'm gonna try to show this as best as I can with this angle, but you basically wanna have your arms bent just like this, okay, with your butt out, but pelvis tucked. Now from this position, you're gonna walk your hands up the wall, okay? And trying to keep your elbows on the wall at the same time. You go to a new position, you hold that position and stretch, okay? You want to feel that stretch from the attachment right up here in your upper tricep, from your arm all the way down to your lat, all the way down the side, okay? So I start here in a position, my elbows are bent, my feet are back, my pelvis is tucked under, so I'm not arching my back. I walk my fingers up about 4 to 6 inches, and then I hold it again. Feel that stretch, hold it for 30 to 60 seconds. All right, next time you do it, walk your fingers up a little bit higher. Again, hold it for 30 to 60 seconds. So if this is the wall and I'm here, I'm tucking my pelvis under, I'm holding here, I'm walking up, my fingers, and then I hold that position again, hold that stretch again for 30 to 60 seconds. All right, so that's stretch number 3, kind of a combination pec and lat. So stretch number 4 is going to be a standing steeple stretch. All right, so we make a steeple with our hands. All right, my feet are about shoulder width apart, a little bit more than shoulder width apart. I'm getting some nice tension between my fingers right here above my head. Okay, so keep some tension between your hands. The most important part on this stretch to start with is tucking that chin in. All right, so from a side view, my arms are in line with my ears, and I'm tucking that chin in. All right, that's the key. I'm driving my feet through the floor. I'm keeping myself rooted and anchored through the floor. Core tight, feet anchored through the floor. Hands above the head. Nice tension between the fingers. Reach up nice and tall, keeping that chin tucked, and then you're gonna lean to one side. You're gonna hold this stretch for 30 to 60 seconds. You'll come back up and repeat to the other side. Hold this stretch for 30 to 60 seconds. As you loosen up, you can go further and further. Since we're focusing on our seniors, I don't recommend too much lateral flexion on this because it does put some strain on that lumbar, all right? So keeping the core tight, we start right here, we get that nice tension between our fingers, we tuck our chin, all right? We tuck our pelvis under, reach up nice and high, and then slightly lean to the side. Hold that stretch. You should feel it from your arm all the way down your side. So it's a great stretch for all those lateral muscles, all right? Now, let's go into the last stretch, which is a standing hip flexor stretch. So since this routine is all standing stretches to make sure we don't have our seniors get on the floor, this hip flexor stretch is a modified version from the knee down, knee up stretch like this that we all do to get our hip flexor. So you're just doing a split stance, so left foot in front, right foot behind to start. We're gonna stretch our right hip flexor. So I'm driving both feet through the floor, really pushing through the floor with my feet, really keeping them anchored to the ground. I'm keeping my core tight, and the key to this stretch is 2 things. Squeezing your glute and tucking under. Once you tuck that pelvis, you'll feel that hip flexor try to lengthen and stretch right in here. From the top part of your quad to the top part of your hip flexor, right in here, you'll feel that stretch. So I'm tucking my pelvis, and then the intention is driving forward with my hip. So I'm tucking the pelvis, and then I want to push this hip to that wall in front of me. So that's my intention. And I can feel that intensify, that stretch. And you want to hold it here for 30 to 60 seconds. So again, if we're on the other side, Left foot back, right foot forward. Don't go so far out that you're increasing your stability. You're going further away from your center of gravity. That'll make your balance a little more wobbly. So just do a slight split stance at first. And again, you can hold on to the wall if you feel uncomfortable doing this stretch. You're a little too unstable. Hold on to the wall while you do it. Left foot's back, toe is straight. Squeeze that glute, tuck the pelvis under. And then as soon as you get that tuck, sit up nice and straight, and then act like you're pushing that pelvis or pushing that hip right forward in front of you, okay? Get a little bit more of that intense stretch. This is a really good way to loosen up those hip flexors since we're sitting a lot. Hopefully we're not sitting too much at home, but if we're sitting a lot, this is a great way to loosen that up. So again, 30 to 60 seconds, standing hip flexor stretch. So there you go, there's 5 stretches, 4 static, 1 dynamic stretch, all standing, so all safe for your seniors at home. So again, stay tuned to our YouTube channel. We're going to give you more at-home workout content. So be safe, be active, be fit, and we'll see you soon.